Welcome back students to the part 3 of today's session. Now let us discuss about the vector addition in analytical method. We had already studied that vector A can be resolved into two vectors, one along the x-axis and another along the y-axis. Let the vector A be represented as shown in the figure. Then if you are drawing perpendiculars from the tail or tip of vector A to the x-axis and y-axis, we get the vectors ax and ay. Then A can be written as ax plus ay. Here the modulus value will be simply written as ax or ay, whereas vector ax and vector ay will be written in bold letters. So ax and ay are defined to be the components of A along the x and y axis. Then the three vectors A, ax and ay form a right-angled triangle, and vector A can be written as vector ax plus vector ay. Suppose if vector A makes an angle theta with the direction of x-axis, then we know from the figure that cos theta is equivalent to modulus of vector ax divided by modulus of vector A, or ax by A. In other words, we can write ax is equivalent to a cos theta. Similarly, from the figure, sin theta is equivalent to ay by A, or we can write ay is equivalent to a sin theta. We had already seen that vector A is equivalent to vector ax plus vector ay. Hence, vector A can be written as a cos theta plus a sin theta. Suppose if we want to find the magnitude or modulus of vector A, then from the right angled triangle, it is clear that modulus of A is equivalent to square root of ax square plus ay square. Or from the figure, tan theta is equivalent to ay by ax, or theta is equivalent to tan inverse of ay by ax. If tan 45 is equivalent to 1, we say tan inverse of 1 is equivalent to 45 degrees. Let us discuss about the direction cosines of a vector. If any vector A subtends angles alpha, beta and gamma with the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively, and its components along these axes, let it be ax, ay and az, then cos alpha will be equivalent to ax by a, cos beta will be equivalent to ay by a, and cos gamma is equivalent to az by a, such that cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equivalent to 1. Now let us find the magnitude of the resultant of two vectors A and B. Here, instead of A and B, the vectors are marked as P and Q. Let P and Q form the sides of a parallelogram OBCA, such that resultant R is equivalent to vector P plus vector Q. Let the angle between vector P and vector Q be theta. To calculate the magnitude of R, draw a perpendicular from the point C to the point D as shown in the figure. So from the triangle OCD, we can write OC square is equivalent to OD square plus CD square. OD can be split into OA plus AD. So OA plus AD the whole square plus CD square will be equivalent to OC square. From the triangle ACD, sin theta is equivalent to CD by Q and cos theta is equivalent to AD by Q. So CD is equivalent to Q sin theta and AD is equivalent to Q cos theta. From the above equation for OC square, substituting for CD and AD and OA, we get OC square is equivalent to P plus Q cos theta the whole square plus Q sin theta the whole square. Expanding A plus B whole square, that is P plus Q cos theta whole square, and rearranging the equation and applying the identity sin square theta plus cos square theta is equivalent to 1, we get resultant R, magnitude of vector R is equivalent to square root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. The direction of R can be got from tan alpha, where alpha is the angle made by the resultant vector with vector A. So tan alpha is written as CD by OD. From the figure we can write tan alpha is equivalent to CD by OD. OD can again be split into OA plus AD. So tan alpha is equivalent to Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta, or alpha is equivalent to tan inverse of Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. When P and Q, that is both the vectors, act in the same direction, then theta is equivalent to 0. Hope you have understood about the resultant of two vectors and how to find the magnitude of the resultant. Thank you, dear students.